Oh, yeah, that's right. We're back here at the GSL August. And oddly enough, and I think this is a fair thing to say, HongUn managed to survive that previous game.
I mean, he did take out Supernova. Supernova seems very weak to rushes, man. He keeps getting eliminated by him.
I think he's the guy, if you leave him alone, don't touch him in the early game, he's a very scary player, but he's not somebody who knows how to compensate for some of these rushes with extra defense. Now, going on to this game, we have HongUn up against Clide. I can't wait to see who's going to win this and what kind of strategies both of these two geniuses are going to use. Head-to-head here, HongUn against Clide. Who will move on to the round of 16? We're going to find out. In the upper left, our red Protoss with a very unique play style. Get ready for his intro. Watch for when he locks eyes in the camera at the end. What is he thinking in that last second, Artosis?
I don't know. I don't know at all. Probably something about rushing.
Something. Thinking about rushing so much that he was thinking it in the language Russian.
GSL Clide.
There he is, Clide. Oh, he's got a smiley face button on. That's to make up for his stone cold killer face.
That's true, man.
He puts on in his games.
Look at that. It's
It's a book. It's a book on how to kill Clide.
Well, you're going to need a whole book, man, because it's nothing simple.
You're going to need a library. You're going to need like an entire Wikipedia database.
Everyone in the world is going to have to pool their Clide win replays together and see if they can figure it out. Probably can't.
Probably put it through a supercomputer.
They have to shut NORAD down for 3 days to process that information and figure it out, and even then they come up with inconclusive data.
Oh my God. Now here's the real question is, who lives in the shanty next to the wall in or the bottom right starting location? That is a shanty. Zoom in on that for me, Artosis, on your screen.
Yeah, no, that's... Actually, it's like a little tent with some crates in it. So I think that's where Supernova's going to be sleeping after losing to HongUn that last game.
Yeah. That's where the up and down players sleep. Look at that little tent. Can't even fit all your stuff in there. Can't even fit your little treasure chests. Those may be treasure chest pirate birds stored there.
Pirate bird doesn't bury things. Burying things is something that someone who walks on the ground does. So what does a bird do? He puts things on the ground.
Ah,
yeah.
They'll never find it here.
Puts a tent over him, of course, so no one can see it from the sky because he's a pirate bird. It makes perfect sense.
That makes perfect sense.
I know. It really does. Everything I say is really thought out, Tasus.
It is.
Except for the times where I say stuff that's like really, really dumb and I didn't think about it at all.
Well, everybody has that in the cast.
Yeah.
You do this much live TV unscripted, sometimes something comes out and I'm like, oh, well, that was dumb.
Yeah, sometimes.
Now here comes the probe, once again, moving out on the map.
You know, Clide is actually going for a double gas opener. This is really interesting.
And a bunker on the outside. I do like the bunker on the outside. That's smart.
I totally dig that bunker, Tasteless.
Except when he walls himself off from his repairing SCVs. That will be the only bad part about that.
Well, that's true.
Uh-oh. Look, Artosis. A Stargate.
Can't say I am surprised. He does love Stargate openings. He loves to try to bust people with the Void Ray. And this is why he's made that bunker. It's because it's just so annoying to deal with these stalkers. So that stalker's not going to be able to do anything. He has to walk home. Clide will get 75% of that investment in the bunker back. Now, it looks like Clide is actually going to go for Cloaked Banshee this game. And that's a good choice against HongUn. HongUn is a guy that loves to take risks. Think back to yourself, GSL fans. When's the last time you saw HongUn open with a one-base observer?
Look at this guy.
Yeah. Doesn't really happen, and Clide knows that.
Oh my God! He just needs to go down, 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 down. He will see it. Yep, he does. And it's actually a Phoenix opener.
Now this is good, because he does this as well. Now this is much better against what Clide's doing than would be The other build we were just talking about.
And now you can see he's making a Viking.
The Void Ray build, yeah. And just with Marines and the Viking, he'll be able to hold off this harassment. So Clide is actually transitioning quite well out of this. One thing I would really love to see right now is Clide throw up an armory. That would make me beyond happy because guess what Phoenixes aren't good against? Thors. You want to name the one unit out of all units that Phoenixes aren't good against? They're better against Ultralisks than Thors, all right?
That is true.
They're better against anything than Thors. They're better against Corruptors than Thors. All right, they're absolutely useless against it, but Clide is not going to do that.
That's very un-Clide-esque.
Yeah, no, that's very everyone-esque. I've never seen anyone transition like that against this. But what you gonna do? So I like that. Clide has actually given up on that tech route completely, despite the fact he's mined an unbelievable amount of gas already. Like, he has actually 500 gas right now because he was going Cloaked Banshee until he saw this. So, how will he actually transition well out of this? I mean, it's a hard transition to make, and HongUn doing a great job so far. HongUn, one of the better Phoenix users against Terran. Definitely my favorite build that HongUn does. And is getting that Nexus up, getting some more gateways as well. Has his Robo up and everything.
It's always annoying when there are a bunch of Phoenixes on the map. I mean, they can always come in there and always kill SCVs. You have to make just a ton of Marines. And if you're Zerg, a ton of Hydras. But for the time being, Clide is staying back with 3 barracks on 1 base. The orbital for his second command center is almost finished.
And the Phoenixes just keep darting in. Of course, we have no more Viking to shoo them off from far away. We have that eBay coming up, though. And with the 3 barracks, just getting quite a few upgrades at the moment. Maybe trying to hit some sort of timing tech, but actually HongUn's playing very smartly right now. He's getting that robotics bay up, and he's going to go right into Colossus from this, which is a really great choice because obviously Marines are going to be pretty good against Phoenixes, and the Colossus is going to own up Marines. It's a circle of life, Tasteless, just like the Lion King told us.
Thank you, Simba, or Mufasa. It's Mufasa, right? Yeah, of course it's Mufasa.
Well, everyone that was in the movie think that. Not Scar, though. He was evil.
No, Scar was a bad guy.
Yeah, don't think him. Well, without him, there wouldn't have been a movie, really, or it would just be like this happy life of a lion.
Well, hold on. Marines chasing out the Phoenixes.
I love good Phoenix play, man. It's so nice. Oh my god, look at this. Can he pick it off? No, he can't.
He actually did a great job. He went in between 2 armies there.
Yeah.
Perfectly. Now, it is going to be pretty obvious right now to Clide that the Phoenix production has stopped with only 4 Phoenixes maneuvering around the map.
Trying to kill some of these off, but they just will not die. Those Phoenixes got snake blood, Tasteless.
They do, and now, nice one little pick off there before he basically evacuates the premise.
Yeah, the Ghost Academy is on the way, but of course, Ghost, not exactly what you want against Colossus. Another cool thing about HongUn's build here is he already has some Phoenixes to help out against Vikings against the Colossus. So really, just really liking his build overall, man. The more I think about it, the more I look at it, the cooler it is.
All right, Colossus, another one on the way, as well as Thermal Lance. When Thermal Lance finishes, Protoss is going to be much more secure.
I would love to see from Clide some Thorzane-esque play and throw up a second starport right now. Because the more I think about it, these Colossi are going to do insane damage as Clide is still just making some medevacs. He's getting a reactor for the starport, but he can't really produce enough medevacs and Vikings right now. And he needs a lot of Vikings to be able to take out not only the Colossi, but these Phoenixes. And if he doesn't, then the Colossi are going to do insane amounts of damage.
Still, the double gases at the expansion area have not yet been taken. You may want to consider taking those pretty soon here. His mineral count is much higher than his gas count right now. And Terran has decided to move out. I don't know if he's actually going to attack into the Protoss right now or if he's just trying to apply some pressure here.
Hard to say. But he does have some ghosts, so definitely he's going to attack. He has a couple EMPs ready, but as Clide scans, he does see 2 Colossi, so that's a pretty scary scenario. He has to EMP these really well, and does get some off, but oh man, very nice force fields, even though some EMPs go off, and Clide does have to run away from this. And finally kills off a Phoenix, but he's lost both of his ghosts in that army.
A medevac now.
Yeah. Lost a clump of his Marines and Marauders. Oh, and does take out one more Phoenix. Clyde's ghost timing not working out here.
Clyde is actually in a lot of trouble right now.
He is.
When he first scanned, the army was clumped, and then when HongUn saw he was scanned, he spread it out. So I think what happened was when he actually got there, he was surprised to see the army set up the way that it was.
Yeah, that's very true, Tasteless. Very impressive. Very impressive by HongUn. Clide, on the other hand, is having a hard time with things. He is producing Vikings at this point, but the Colossus number is really much too high. Right now he has 2 Vikings out against 3 Colossi and a Phoenix, so that's a lot of targets for those Vikings. And there's already a lot of Stalkers in the army of HongUn, so I really feel like he needs that second starport if he wants to have any chance here. But at the same time, he doesn't really have time to get it now because he's lost too much of his army, and this aggression is really well placed.
Yeah, he can start poking with the Colossus. Says, all right, nice. He runs for it when the stim comes up. He's going to let that wear down.
Wow. Great use of force fields right now.
Oh my God, Clyde's actually going to die?
Yeah, he's dead, man. He's done. I can't believe you washed up against those force fields like that for that long. Unfortunately, it looks like Clide is going to have his worst GSL finish ever this season.
Oh, the curse of Clide continues. He is such a good player, but he just doesn't ever manage to produce the results.
Yeah, this
is a game that he deserves to lose. Absolutely.
HongUn actually played extremely well this game. He did get the better end of build orders, obviously. He went for a Starport Phoenix build against Clyde's very quick Banshee Cloak Rush, and that's a hard thing to recover from, but Clide made that huge blunder actually attacking in to HongUn's natural.
And unfortunately, he left all his depots, the new ones, out here, so Terran might even end up being supply blocked in a second here. Yeah, there's actually no way to recover from this.
Yeah.
He can actually keep him pushing forward if he wants to with the Colossus.
Yeah, he really
shooting
can.
over the edges and everything.
Clyde's base is
and
not set up.
taking Pirate Bird's booty, which is the real victory when you win Belshire Beach.
And here we go. This is going to be the last engagement of this game. HongUn has had enough. He's going to go in for the kill, and Clide just has nothing to say about it, man. No matter how hard he micros, there's not enough units.
Yep, that is going to be it. GG here as Clide will stay in Codas. Good game. For a second, I thought he wrote goddamn.
Yeah, that would have been funny. And HongUn, really surprising. The first game he played today was terrible. The second one was okay, but it was a rush, and it was like, But this last game against Clide, beautifully played by HongUn. Congratulations to him.
Clyde should never have attacked.
Again, I want to triple underline. This is actually really impressive. This is the worst Clide has done in GSL, not making it out of his first round. He's going to stay just top 32. He always gets like top 16. Not this time, Clide. Sorry, buddy.
Well, he'll be back. Clyde's not going anywhere. And
oh wait, he might have had one round of 32 finish in like season 3.
Yeah, well, you might be right.
It was a TBT, if I recall correctly.
That could be. Actually, that might have been the one where he went for the Hellions.
Yeah. So, all right. He lost pretty early one other time, but it's not a good finish for Clide. That's not where he wanted to be, unfortunately. But them's the apples.
It's too bad. Right now, he is not the impressive Terran. He is the unimpressive Terran.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Such is the case.
That's life. That's competition. That's the GSL. Now, we're not done with today's games. That was a good way to wind it up. You know it.
It was. That's why I was laughing out of my nose. One of those little snort laughs.
I don't even know if that picks up in our mics.
It does slightly.
We are going to go to the next half of today's games. So, that was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Quick little series there.
That was quick, man. The yesterday was just so long, but today, so quick.
Shorter day today, I guess. We had a lot more rush games for the start of our first half of today's games. Now, the second half, I'm a little bit more excited about this group, to be honest. It is a group where we don't really know who's going to.
I think Lucero will definitely get out. I cannot imagine not getting out of this group. And obviously, Jalizer's going to be the second favorite, but, you know, Genius, I feel he can take games off of July, and I feel Ensnare has the possibility to, but a little bit less likely.
We'll see. You know, we haven't seen as much of Ensnare as of late.
Yeah, Ensnare had a couple superstar seasons in the middle there, and of course during the beta and maybe season 1 he was quite
and then he sort of flubbed.
And yeah, he's kind of flubbed other than that, just kind of like, oh yeah, Ensnare's in Code S.
Ensnare, he's supposed to be a really good player, okay, but he's really not, I think, in the same department as some of these other players we've been looking at. So here are the results for today's first half of today's games. Clide will have to bring the Manprees to the next season of Code S. And Supernova is going to have to fight for his life in the up-and-down matches.
Yeah, certainly will. Poor guy.
All right. Well, we'll be back in about 5 minutes, guys. So we'll see you again here soon for the second half of today's games at the GSL. Fast food drive through for that old fast